Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the B Team on Jackrabbit Illustrated. As always, the Jackrabbit Illustrated Facebook and YouTube page, along with FCS Fans Nation YouTube. Thank you for joining us on this Monday night. Thank you to our title sponsors for Jackrabbit Illustrated, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, with locations all over the great state of South Dakota. There's always someone close to you to get into some orange equipment today. They've got some of the best parts and service available. Never mind the fact that you probably won't need them very often because how reliable their equipment is. They've got everything you may need for your shop, your home, your farmstead, your acreage. They got stuff to take care of it all, everything in between. So get down and get yourself into some orange equipment today. And then, as always, our sponsor for the show of the B Team is Culver's of Brookings and Watertown. The Curter Burger is back, and it is only out for a short time. Get you some. I love them. Some people on Twitter, not to name names, were saying some blasphemy against the Curter Burger, but I'm going to go ahead and just ignore those comments. The goated move that I found out was from the Podfather himself. Get the beer cheese, take the top off your burger, throw it on top of the curd, and then you've got a beer cheese Curter Burger. And I can't think of a better idea than that. So get down to Culver's of Brookings Watertown, or as the video Ben sent me, you can just get the curd, the big curd. You can buy those separately if you want.
What?
And then dip them as a giant cheese curd. Yeah. And it's awesome. And
how do you fit that in the little thing of ranch?
I would
pull it apart.
I'd fold it.
Okay. Or you could fold it.
You pull it apart.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
But I think it is
you're
probably
a ketchup guy.
It probably is. I am a ketchup guy. I'm a ketchup on cheese curds guy. Always.
They're good too. It's both good.
It cuts through the density of the cheese curd, in my opinion, the heaviness of it. But anyways, beyond that, get ready to get rocking. Big game this weekend. Turned out all right. It is HOBO week before HOBO Day.
Back.
Michael back. Crazy maniac.
He was on the late night show, I think, with Dorgan and Alex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He jumps on the late night show when I'm not there. What the hell is that?
Yeah, but he's like East Coast, isn't he? Like,
I have not doxed him to find out his information. If you have,
I'm just assuming East Coast time, Murray State. I don't know.
Right. Are they East? Is Kentucky
Texas
not Central?
He's Central.
He's super Central. Yeah. There's a small chance of Mountain, right?
It's a big enough state. We're not doxing him just because we know what state.
Right. That one's harder. So, anyways, how is everybody else doing?
Good. Yeah. Speaking of time zones, I got jet lag, man. We went to Vegas for the weekend, and that's Pacific time, and it's a bit different. It was so weird having like NFL games were starting at 10 o'clock, and it was an adjustment, and obviously stayed up way too late and paying for it now. But good weekend, and was able to watch the game on the phone as we were doing some other stuff. So then obviously rewatched today. So I'm excited to talk about it.
East Coast coming back is way easier than Pacific coming back. Pacific's terrible.
It's
try flying from like the first time zone in New Zealand.
Oh, that's got to be. That's
terrible.
I would just stay up for 24 hours until I came back.
Back around. Kind of, sort of did, yeah. Because we ended up landing in San Fran like an hour after we left.
The worst part is like you're in Vegas and you're like, I only stayed up till 1, and that's not too bad. Oh no, it's 3 o'clock at home.
Right.
So you're paying for that on the way back. But
that's why you got to go with someone like Ariel, who goes to bed at 8 o'clock our time here. So she's just mad at you every hour that you're up later than that. So I'd hear about it the whole time as we're reaching 1. This is actually 3 o'clock back home.
Yeah, but she'd have to go to bed at 6 p.m. in Vegas.
I know. Yeah. Drive me crazy.
Vegas has got a lot of great places to eat. Did you get anything cool? Did you select anything there?
We found a Mediterranean spot that was pretty good. Where else did we go? I don't know. It was a blur. It was
Hash House.
It felt longer, but it was less than like 72 hours, and We didn't go to Hash House. Oh, it was a Korean barbecue was the other one we went to. But
those places are legit too, though.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, Jesse. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
He's definitely complaining.
While also trying to, humble brag his trip to Vegas to watch a concert.
To the Sphere.
Well, number one, if you get a chance to see Hosier do it, he was amazing, and the Sphere is really cool too. So if you ever get a chance to go to the Sphere while you're in Vegas, go there.
The moral of this story is if you want Ben to come to an event, tell him it's a concert, and he will go great distances to get there. And then once he's there, then but you can't be somewhere local because you know it's your house. But if you set something up like in Omaha, you're like, oh, by the way, we're pre-gaming at this location.
Yeah, that's true. I do.
But does he show up early for concerts?
Oh, not usually.
Okay.
We're usually skating in right as the opener starts, but
that tracks.
Sometimes after.
That tracks.
Yeah, we got a problem with that. But anyway, let's talk about some football.
Yeah. I mean, Chad, you got to talk about it a bunch. I didn't get to watch it nearly as closely as I wanted to. Friend's wife had a birthday party, and I had to go to that because they're great people. So I was at that, didn't get to watch it as close as I want. But, I mean, to me, the biggest takeaway is that turnaround. I mean, at half. I think that's huge because there is a certain segment of the fan base who is not used to not having success. And I think sometimes we forget every year there's a tough game. Like it happens every year. 2023 is one of the greatest FCS football teams of all time, not just SCSU, of all time. And they squeaked by a non-playoff Southern Illinois 17-10, as was pointed out by Matt Zimmer in his article.
The UNI win at the Unidome?
The Unidome won in 22, right? Well, there's a couple in 22. Yeah. There was the UC Davis game. That game reminds me of this one a lot, where the quarterback gave us all sorts of problems and everything else. I think it's hugely impressive to me for a team that's, they're not super young, but they don't have a ton of experience, right? Especially together. When you go throughout the whole roster. So for them to knuckle down at half the way they did and just completely flip the switch, come out 21-0 third quarter, and then finish the game off when it looked like Youngstown might make a little run back at it. Hugely impressive to me for the team, for the coaching staff, because there was obviously a lot of stuff that was not working in the first half that they went and switched some things around and got things working. So that's my general takeaway from the game at the start anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know we were going to do like overall takeaways before we got into it, but
well, you said there was football, so I started talking. Look, all right, I told you guys I'm not going to be super locked in. Full disclosure, I got the Brewers game on the split screen here. We don't make the playoffs or have success often, and it's their first time they've ever had the best record in Major League Baseball, so I'm pretty locked in.
What's the score?
3-3. It's the third inning, bottom of the third.
3-3?
3-3.
It'd be better if the Brewers were up like 10, and then you could
like game one. I'd already be shooting the Gronowskis some trash talk.
What are you watching that on?
It's on TBS or TNT.
Like a streaming service that's probably
YouTube
behind
TV.
A little bit.
YouTube TV. Oh, William Contreras just hit a dinger. Let's fucking go. Oh, let's go.
I looked at my app
and I was like, or did you just get to watch the replay?
I just looked over at it as it cleared the fence.
That's
apparently Dustin thinks the Brewers are going to choke it away.
He can say it's typical of Milwaukee teams, but I mean, I don't know what city has a championship most recently, Dallas or Milwaukee, because I think it's Milwaukee with the Bucks, but that's just throwing it out there because I know he's a Dallas sports guy, even though he lives by Houston.
Oh, here I thought he was a big Galveston guy.
But yeah, to play off your, I mean, I do want to get into some specifics, but to play off your point, it's a great experience for that team. It's a ranked road win, as we kept saying. Like it was tough, but at the end of the day, it's a ranked road win. And I think the team's going to be much better off because of it. I think compare this to, let's say they go in and beat them by 17 to 24 points and they, coast for the most part. You're not going to get as much out of a game like that. And so, adversity is a good thing as long as you come out on top. And I think it's going to be huge for this team to have gone through that, be down 14, work your way back. And it wasn't just, 14 early, it was 10 at half. And, we had a little momentum going into half, but they were gashing us and we had to make some adjustments. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's huge for this team to get that game under their belt. And like you said, it's going to happen, especially when I think that we're still getting used to being the top dog or one of the top dogs. And when you're getting everybody's best shot and, every team we play has us circled on the calendar as, that's a team that we really want to beat because it's going to be huge for our playoff resume. It's going to be huge for our fan base. It's a big deal. So, I mean, you're gonna have tough games like that against good opponents. And credit to Youngstown State. I mean, Brungard is a dude. Like, he is a problem.
Yes. Yep.
And he's a baller. Like, he's not a real big guy, but he is not afraid to put his nose in there and get the extra yards. Credit to the coaching staff. Dan Jackson said earlier on the coach's show that they were showing some stuff that they haven't shown before, that we weren't ready for. And what does that remind you of? It's what we used to do against NDSU because we needed to get a leg up on them. And they,
right.
They were typically overall better than us. And it worked sometimes. And so teams are going to do that to us. And it's tough to deal with. I mean, that's really what the most impressive part of NDSU's run has been, is just that they continually are getting teams' best shots and they continually come out on top. So obviously a little cap tip to Fargo there. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Tom Zach is still good at football. That guy's also a problem. And I think Youngstown State overall, the A team is talking about how they have a tough schedule ahead, but I see them making the playoffs and they're going to be a problem because they may not end up getting a seed just because of how difficult their schedule is, but they're going to be a dark horse in the playoffs. They're going to be a problem for some teams, for some ranked team that gets matched up with them, or for some seeded team that gets matched up with them. And I would not bet against them in the playoffs because they've got the ability to make some noise, I think.
Yeah, in talking about Brungard, I mean, he's so good, and I do laugh a little bit now when we have the comments of like, man, we just always struggle against running quarterbacks. And yes, I totally get it. They're super frustrating to face. That's why almost why the vast majority of college quarterbacks are running quarterbacks, because they're really hard to stop.
We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones that have difficulties against running quarterbacks.
Most everybody has a tough time with running quarterbacks. That's kind of the point. But on top of that, I mean, God, he was impressive. It did feel like the team was sloppy coming out. And, like Kevin Marshall says, I'd rather won by 17 to 24 points, Ben. And I totally get it. And if you're, someone who's not a Jackrabbit fan listening to this, I totally get people who are going, well, that didn't look real good, or there was this problem, that problem. I totally understand that there was obviously problems. Being in love with the pass game. Defense was not itself. It certainly didn't look like the defense of the first, 4 games of the season. So I understand looking at it like that, but I mean, from where I'm sitting, everything we've talked about, I think I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of belief in this team. I think there's a lot of talent. They've been getting better game over game. The O-line, the Hogs, looked way better this game. I mean, way better. And, if you think about it, you've got a freshman center, which is not normal. And that's a big part of your offensive line. and he's getting, I mean, the amount he's learning every game and getting better is so much more than a guy who's been playing starting for 3-4 years, because it's all kind of new to him in live action. So I think that is kind of a linchpin that helps with that going forwards.
Yeah, and I think that was huge to see, is the way that the 605 Hogs came out in the second half, and they ran the ball down their throats. I mean, they got tired. We relied on the run game, and it worked. And it was the best game the 605 Hogs have had by far. And I think we're going to continue to see them grow and play better going forward. I think they found something in themselves at halftime, and it was evident. They were so excited for Luffridge when he's scoring the touchdowns. I mean, they were all in the end zone celebrating together and everything, which was really, really cool to see. So I mean, that was huge, seeing them come together, because I think that's something that we wanted to see, and it's it's adversity, and it was kind of sketchy at times, but at the same time, if this is what it took for the 605 Hogs to gel and put a game together and get some confidence and realize what they can do and how to do it, then so be it. It is what it is, and it's going to be a good thing going forward. I did want to touch on, you mentioned the defense didn't look like it had. If you go back and watch the game, there was just a lot of big plays they got gashed on. Mm-hmm. But overall, I mean, especially like if you take Brungard's 74-yard run out of his statistics, he was like 21 rushes for like 56 yards. And so, I mean, they, as good as he is at running the ball, they, for the most part, held him in check outside of that big run. And there were some guys. Go ahead.
The craziest stat I saw regarding him, I think it was Zimmer who tweeted it out, or maybe it was splitting hairs. I'm not sure. But Brungard had like 126 rushing yards at half, and he ended up with 106.
Yeah,
which means they figured it out in a big way and held him to negative almost 20 yards or something in the second half. So I think it's a great learning experience going forwards from that front. But go ahead. Sorry, I should have interrupted you. But
no, you're good. I think like you're saying, the resilience they showed was huge, and I think there was definitely adjustment made in the second half to say that we're going to make Brungard beat us with his arm. We're going to play him up close. We're not going to give him running lanes. And I think that did lead to some of the bigger plays in the second half, because we got sucked up. They hit us over the top, which is going to happen if you're playing defense like that. But, it's overall, I think it was a really good adjustment. And the really fun thing to see was just how some of our defensive guys are just playing with their hair on fire, man. Like that, that I was glad that they highlighted the CBT rundown play, because I saw that in the game and I was like, oh my, where did he even come from?
Yes.
And I couldn't see his number, so I was like, man, it must be a D-back. But no, it's a linebacker that ran down a very fast quarterback from across the field and prevented him from scoring a touchdown and forced a field goal. Between him and there was a couple other plays he made like that. McShane was all over the field. Ripperda had a huge game. He's developing a lot. Ullman had another big game. So, I mean, overall, I'm not down on the defense. Obviously, they gave up more points than we would like to see. But again, that's a very good team. They threw some wrinkles at us that we weren't ready for. And we'll be a better team for it, I think.
Well, and I think, you look at that, I get more concerned that, that you don't come out and play well against UNI in this game. Then, okay, now we're sweating some stuff, right? And if it carries over, I as of right now, I don't expect it to. And like you said, Youngstown played really well. They were good. They were a good team, and hats off to Coach Phillips. I loved like his press conference where he was talking about they had like the score and stuff all over the locker room all summer, and 13%. We got to get 13% better to catch up with SDSU and NDSU, and that's their whole life's work right now is to try to catch us. And I mean, huge props to him to admit that that's what we've got to do and make it a focus to everybody that's what we got to do. And they came out with that intensity. Eventually that's going to pay dividends for them. Hopefully not against us, hopefully against the guys up north, but they're really locked in on trying to become a top program. And boy, they gave it their best shot this weekend. And
yeah, I hope that continues. I think Youngstown's in a spot. Sure. I think they're in a spot where they can be a top FCS team consistently. And I hope Phillips stays there and sees it through. And because more good FCS teams is good for everybody, and more good Valley teams is good for everybody. So really, really good to see there. We do have to touch on the offense a bit, especially Chase Mason and Julius Loffridge. Chase first showed some. He just the first quarter didn't look good. Throw that one out the window. But he showed a lot of resolve in being able to settle down, run the ball a little bit, and especially after he misses on that really deep ball to Goring, which should have been an easy touchdown. That was a pitch and catch touchdown.
Yep.
Missed that one, and then to come back and hit a couple deep balls where you could tell that he made sure to put a little air under it and to let Bullock go get those,
right?
Because he made the adjustment. He said, "I'm not going to overthrow one again. I'm going to make sure I give him a chance to catch it." And he made some plays on third downs that were clutch. I love to see his development, and especially I'm excited. It was great to see him get his legs going. That one where he almost broke it for a touchdown, which I think it was Jesse mentioned the other day that I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen Chase break away for a touchdown yet, because we're so used to seeing it when he was coming in to spell Gronowski. He almost broke it on that one, but Dan Jackson said on the coach's show that we may see Chase running the ball a little more. Looking forward to some opportunities for that, which I would love to see. I think it just opens up the offense that much more. Obviously, he's got to preserve himself, but you kind of wonder, are they to the point with the backup quarterbacks that they're thinking, okay, we've got them, the offense has been learned. If we're a little more willing to put Chase out there a little bit and see what he can do with his legs, because I think what they probably realized was after this game is that we can't mess around. If we've got weapons, we got to use them.
Yep.
Because we could have easily lost that game. If Youngstown keeps hitting on plays and we just don't hit on those deep balls or something like that, we could have lost that game, and you can't leave anything to chance.
Yeah, I feel you there. I'm not leaving anything to chance. I got a feeling these next two games you shouldn't need to run him.
I would agree.
As needed. So I think if they do run him, we want to get this on film for them for NDSU to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, then why show it? So that's the age-old coaching question, right? Of do you give them more to prepare for, or do you keep it in the bag if you can? But yeah, those runs are going to pop, I think, at some point. We haven't had any monster long rushes for a touchdown yet, and I think that's just what you can see week to week. You can see the running game evolving, and blocking getting better, and all these things as things gel. And that was something we talked about, right? at the start of the season. Like, this O-line is not going to just jump right in and dominate. They're going to have to gel together a little bit. And, and that includes the receivers too. Because if you pop one for a long touchdown, odds are is that it was probably something that was blocked up by every soul on that football field well. And that's what you need to have happen. And I think that they're building to that. It just hasn't quite popped yet, because we know Julius has the speed to do that. And he just missed that one where he stepped out of bounds at the start of the game.
And I think as we see, the offensive line gel and figure things out, and Lawford just starting to break off these big runs, defenses are going to have to key on that heavy, because if you saw late in that Youngstown State game, we got some linemen downfield and they were screwed. Like, they had no chance of stopping Lawfridge if you give them a head of steam. And I think if we continue that success, we're going to see Chase pull one and go the other way and run in for an easy touchdown. It's going to happen. And I hope to God it's against NDSU, because that's just going to be great. But
and can you imagine if we ran the pin and pull scheme with one extra blocker and Chase is the running back?
Yeah,
I mean,
right. Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are, when you get the run game going, the possibilities are endless. And I think we saw some of that in the second half. And I think Jesse's answering Garrett. Garrett said it seems like Chase isn't quite as fast in the open field this year. Jesse said, I think his mindset is different this year than it was last year. He's now thinking pass this first instead of run first. And I think as far as the quite as fast, I think that's just a change in a mindset of a little bit of self-preservation. Making sure you're not going to get, blindsided by somebody. And, last year he was running with a reckless abandon, and he was running like Tommy Malott did, and like Bo Brungard does. And I think of a guy like Cam Scadaboo, like that dude, like they have no worries about what's going to happen to them. They just run 100% all the time. And Chase isn't in a position anymore that he can do that. And that's a good thing. I mean, he knows that he has to preserve his body, so he's not going to be going 100 miles an hour into danger. He's going to make sure that he's getting down without getting too big hits. So it's Kevin Marshall says, I bet you it's in there. Think how Montana State played him a lot in the last 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, you think about it. Come marker game, come playoffs.
Yeah,
I think that's a whole different ball of wax there.
100%. Yeah, I mean it's still in there. He's still as fast as he was. I don't think he's lost a step.
He hasn't become less of an athlete. He hasn't had any knee major injuries or anything. Yeah. Like, he's not less of
shut
a runner.
Your mouth.
I'm sorry, but you're right. God, I feel compelled to respond, because when a mayor comments on the stream,
it wasn't fitting. It wasn't fitting the conversation. Right, I thought we'd get to it when we got to around the valley. I don't think anybody was calling out Vermilion itself, the town.
So Mayor Cole says Birdie told me that we had some questions on V-Town and support they give USD. I have not had a chance to get through the full A team yet. I don't know if it was said there. I don't know if
Dallas called out for having a less than full stadium. I don't think he was commenting on Vermilion the town and lack of support.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Vermilion the town supports USD, but I think the point is that it was a homecoming game and the stadium was 2/3 full. Those are the facts.
And the tickets were almost sold out.
Yeah. There was a huge drop in tickets for some reason. We're not sure what that was about, but I mean, the facts are what they are. And he says here, I agree, we need to sell out that dome. And I mean, there's really no reason not to. I mean, it only holds just over 9,000, I think. And they're not that far from Sioux Falls, where I know there are a lot of USD fans. And there's just apathy in that fan base. And I don't want to get too deep down the USD rabbit hole. But that's all I have to say about it.
We've had our own attendance issues in the past. Let's
100 miles an hour offer right here.
Oof.
That is fork me. God, that's a man.
Right no elbow guard.
No elbow guard.
Oh god.
Yikes.
No just thanks. Square on that, and he's not even shaking his arm. Jesus.
He's putting on a tough face.
You get hit by 100, you might not even feel it for like 15, 20 minutes. It hits you that hard.
You'll feel it the next day. I'd bet money.
He feels it in about 10 minutes. He's going to be going, mother of God.
Going to be about this big and black and blue.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to finish up that thought, I mean, the way to stop the talk about it is to just have USD fans support their team and show up for games. Don't be so apathetic. I can't count how many times I've texted a USD fan about, them like losing, and they're like, whatever. They don't care as much, and that's just the way it is. And so I know that they have some rabid fans. They do, and it's great, and I hope it expands because it's only good for everybody. But that's just the way it is right now.
They are kicking some tail in the lemon.
Which is awesome.
Trophy, lemon trophy challenge.
Yeah, we need to pick it up there a little bit. I know you're doing everything. By we, I mean the holistic of us and BT Mafia and everything. We need to kick it in gear, man. They're not letting off the gas. That wasn't some quick little money. They're doing auctions and just got another $2,000 raise for it or something. As of right now, they look like they're going to be a serious challenge. And I know we've got more than enough horsepower behind BT Mafia and JI fanship to get her done. But yeah, let's start doing some, and yeah, like Seth Meyer says, kudos to them. That's fantastic.
It is
really a good thing. It's pretty rare that I'll root for USD, and this is the time when it's fighting childhood cancer. I'll root for them till the cows come home.
Yeah, because when it comes to childhood cancer, you're either for it or against it, right, Brendan?
Right. So you can take a lemon head photo and be against childhood cancer, or you can or you can be for it. That's fine. And if you're for it, that's fine. People are for all sorts of terrible things in this world. Why not? But
like turkey bacon.
Like turkey bacon. Yes,
we can all agree that's terrible.
It's not that bad. It's like jerky, basically. But anyway,
it's not that good either. But that's the
Ariel tricked me into eating turkey bacon once, and I was unimpressed when she was like,
"What is this?" My wife did the same thing.
It's turkey bacon, and I'm like,
I think you just have to that again. It's not bacon.
That again.
It's not bacon.
Yeah, just don't call it bacon. It's just like
it's
turkey. It's essentially jerky. It's
crispy turkey.
It's bacon flavored meat serene product.
There's not enough fat on a turkey to make turkey bacon. That's the moral of that story. You're adding something in order for that to work.
Do you want your brisket with no fat or with fat?
Right?
That's what. Right.
Ooh, I made pork ribs this week, or I made beef ribs this weekend. The dino ribs from Hedrick's.
Somebody's talk about showing off. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Mr. Moneybags.
They turned out ribs. Yeah, baby. The dino plate ribs. They're about yay big. Yeah. The ones you get down in Texas that are about that thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Oh yeah. They're
fall off the bone.
They're delicious, but when you figure out the price per actual meat on there.
Oh no, they're expensive.
They're
let
expensive.
me put it this way. I won't be making it for the tailgate. That's for sure. I'm going to make it for the family.
What do you mean? You should bring it early so that therefore those of us that set up get to have
it. That'll be the Christmas present for everybody who sets up. Yeah. Maybe the playoffs. I'll do that at the playoffs for all of us who set up.
I like it. The mayor's got an invitation for us. If we come to the USD versus SDSU game, he'll have a tailgate with beverages for us. We appreciate that.
I do too. I can't say I'm going, but I can never rule it out either.
Don't think I can make that one, but
every time I say I'm not going to an away game like that, I end up going. So
me too.
Jeez, I can't hide my good.
He's getting that podcaster money. You'd know all about that, Zach.
Kevin, it was beef ribs, the best type of ribs.
Not that
God intended.
Silly South Carolina pork.
Yeah, no, if I,
Yeah, Mayor Cole might have bit off more than he can chew here. He's gonna have all B team mafia showing up to the
I hope he's got a lot of beer.
They're like people show up. They're showing the receipts from the podcast. They're like, "You said,
hey, look."
Yeah, who are you? You need to be a little more specific there, sir. Yeah. Do they allow kegs in the tailgate at USD? Because they don't at SDSU. So.
They allow beer pong though. That's going to be set up this week for Hobo Day. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. I welcome any and all challengers.
Let's go, Jackson. Hey, for those of you just joining us, he's a Brewers fan.
Oh, that's quite the guarantee.
Miles per hour.
Alex Kenkel asks John Cole if he is still on for the Scared Money Don't Make Money that week. I believe that's what that comment means.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At least John's got a pretty good taste in beer. They're drinking Busch lattes down there too. They're quality Midwestern folk.
All right. Last thing I have to say on this game before we move on is special teams.
Our punter.
Oh man, Pelham was pinning him deep, and the kick coverage,
dude,
like within the 20 every time between the kicker. Is it Harrington? Is that right?
Yeah, Harrington.
Yeah. And then just the coverage team is just so good. You can see our depth when you look at the guys that are going down there making those tackles, man. I love watching that team. They play with their hair on fire, and yeah, they're so good, and they make such a big difference. It's tough for a team. Our defense is good enough where it's really tough for a team to drive anyway, but especially when you give them a long field. So, all right. Other than that, we'll move on from that game. Do we want to touch on the top 25? I saw you had it up, Chad.
I will pull it back up. I was trying to pull it up in the background, and I got to do that early, I guess. So
no worries.
There it is. Can you read that?
No.
No. Oh, I got the wrong one again. Dang it. Hold on. Let me share this one instead, where I've got it by itself. A little easier to read there.
All right. That's perfect. So we got NDSU sitting at number 1, SDSU at 2, Tarleton State at 3, Montana 4, Montana State at 5, Southern Illinois at 6, and then Tennessee Tech, UC Davis, Lehigh, and then UND rounding out the top 10. Illinois State at 11, right outside. So you got 5 Valley teams in the top 11 of the FCS, which, if you've been watching FCS for a while, it's not a big surprise, but 5 in the top 11 is pretty impressive. And it kind of gives you a taste of, the challenges that we'll have ahead of us. The rest of the top 25, Youngstown State still at number 25 there. USD is not on here. No, they're not. That's weird. Anyway,
is it?
We'll move on.
Sorry. But Rhode Island's on there, kidding. So we got that going for us.
I'm just kidding. Kevin? No, USD does not deserve to be on there for as much as their fans would like to believe they are.
Did Rhode Island they don't beat Brown this week?
Anyway. No. Okay. No, they lost to Brown.
That's what I thought.
Factual, actually.
All right, so that's top 25.
I'm just saying there's other polls out there that have things that I could dig on all day if I wanted to.
Yeah, we don't have to get too
People
much
don't agree
about...
sometimes, and it's okay. Because I understand that those polls have their justifications, and it makes sense.
And let's be honest, this is not a show where we're talking about people's polls show.
We do it all the time. Right. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to make a joke.
It's a poll show. We're poll dancers. We dance around.
Group chat only. All right. Moving on.
Youngstown is probably criminally underrated, but it makes sense when you look at certain things.
Well, here's the thing. All right, if we're gonna go into this, Youngstown State at 25 is criminal, right?
I'm working on it.
They're at least as good as the Redbirds because they gave us a game. Like you can't We're week 6. You can't just throw a team in there because they had a good game against SDSU. Like, they don't have any other wins that are worth ranking that high afterwards. You can't just go, well, Youngstown State, they played SDSU well. Let's move them up to 18 or something. Like, this isn't if this was week 2, sure, I could get on board with that, but it's week 5 now. We can't. There has to be something of substance behind it. And to be frank, that the fact that they're pretty much where they were last week anyways, and they didn't drop down, that is respect being thrown to that game, that they played. Most teams that are in the bottom of the top 25 lose, they drop out no matter who they play. So that shows that people were paying it, that vote in that poll are paying attention, but you're not going to move up after a loss week 6. Like, that's not how this works. That's classic UNI theory of,
quality loss.
Circa 8 years ago, quality loss. Like, oh, they played really well. They only beat or other pick a valley team. It happens all the time. Well, they played all the top teams close, and then they beat everybody else. Well, congratulations. That means you're not able to beat one of the top teams. You don't get to go to the playoffs for almost beating the top teams. You have to have a win worth going to the playoffs for. You have to have a win worth being ranked higher for. Austin Peay has better wins than Youngstown State has right now. And that's just a fact. Beating Abilene Christian is better than any win that Youngstown State has right now. That's just the way it is. It's the same. It's not as bad, but it's a similar concept as the USD fans saying you don't know ball if you don't rank USD. No, I know ball because I didn't rank you. It didn't take them losing by 58,000 points in Fargo and looking like a team that had never seen a football before in order to drop you. You had no wins worth of shit. You lost to you should have by rights lost to Northern Colorado at home. By the way, Northern Colorado team who just had to beat Houston Christian in overtime, a Lamar team whose best win is a Nichols team whose best win, who was ranked only for beating UIW, who we found out is garbage. So what are we talking about here? There's more than just how they looked against either us or somebody else, whatever. And I agree. Like, it's not a power ranking. If you want to do a power ranking, sure, you can say that, yes, Youngstown State looks like they're 15 because of that performance, but it's not a power ranking. It's the poll. It's your top 25 poll. This is a ranking on what you've done so far. What's your resume say, with a mixture of eye test? But if all you have is eye test and wins over NEC teams, then you're not going to move up the poll. So
the age-old power ranking versus poll ranking debate.
And don't get me started on those hacks. Frickin' Joe De Leon, dude, like, don't give me this. I'm not going to drop them that many slots, because go to the FBS with that stupid.
Are you
shit.
Slot shaming?
Yes, I am slot shaming. Like, oh, I'm not going to give up on this. Isn't the poll, the preseason poll? Sure, that's your best guess at how the season's going to end. It's week 6. It's not your week. It's not a guess at what the season's going to look like at the end. It's who's the top 25, who's done something to earn being the top 25 now. That who's performed and earned their spot now with a mixture of eye test. That's what a poll is to me. I'll power rank your poll, Kevin.
Yeah, that's
up there.
That's
at
what
least
we
number
need
2
is a poll power ranking.
Up.
We get
power poll, power ranking.
Well, it's the same people that don't understand the imperialism map, basically. Like,
yeah.
How do you not understand it? Like, it's pretty simple, but there's still people that argue about it. Like,
I'm baffled by the people who go, well, I didn't put all this research in the post in the off season and know what I know from that research. You didn't know shit from that research. That was an educated guess. You don't know shit from the off season. What you know is what's actually happened, and it matters more than you're just trying to defend what you think is your unquestionable knowledge because I ranked the transfer portal. How's that working? Sac State just lost a Cal.
Looking less and less like a quality win, isn't it?
Yeah, it is not helpful. That is not. There's no less and less. It's not. That is a bad win.
Well, and again,
it's a win. It's not a good win.
If you want a power ranking, go to Massey, go to Sagarin.
We started over. We got to be done.
Yeah. Sorry, I over ranted. Rant brought to you by Mensch Greenhouse. Go get your plants. They'll hook you up. And other shrubbery. Oh my God, we've got to.
That's like a nice shrubbery.
I want to add that clip after. No, we can't. Just from.
We could probably add the audio.
No, I will tell you, because Borg and I, in the middle of the late night show 2 weeks ago, he played "You're an Assholio" by Dennis Leary.
Oh yeah, but he played the whole thing. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you got copyright issues?
Yeah, it popped up on.
Oh, does Podfather know about this?
All that happens is they take all the money,
which we don't get. We
not don't get anything anyway,
signed up to be monetized anyways. So whatever.
Corey says he don't want no shrubs. Shrubs ain't the kind of flowers he sells at his greenhouse anyway. Shrubs. No shrubs. Anyway.
All right, we're off the rails. Let's get back on the rails. We're going to talk about a team that's not on the top 25.
Ben wants to do some rails.
Northern Iowa is coming to town.
Jeez.
And they are struggling.
They did not look good.
I haven't looked at
called that in the pick segment.
I haven't looked at what the Reddit FCS line is, but it's going to be a big one.
Well, yeah, their offense is woof.
Let's see here.
I just assumed by the results that the game was in North Dakota. Nope, that was at the Unidome.
Yeah, no, it was at the Unidome, and Alex and I were having a conversation, and he's like, I just don't like, the advanced analytics don't like UND, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but the scoreboard doesn't like you and I. The most points they've scored, the most points UNI has put up this year, and this is besides Butler. Okay, we take a team against a team with scholarships is 17 points at home against Eastern Washington, who is not exactly renowned for stiff defenses.
Now, to be fair to them, they are rebuilding.
Oh, 100% they are. They've like, I don't even know if rebuild covers it with where they're kind of starting at square one, and not because of Mark Farley, but just because of the way that department was run for the longest time. I mean,
yeah.
They've had I believe they said they just got an equipment trailer. They used to rent U-Hauls and weren't able to bring all the equipment they wanted to because a U-Haul's not meant to haul football equipment. Like that's crazy.
I think it's caught up to them. They're falling behind and they need to catch back up again. I think they, maybe overachieved based on, the resources they had at the time. And they're definitely in a bad spot this year. If you call it a rebuild or whatever, but I would, obviously we have to be focused. It's you and I coming in for HOBO Day. It wasn't that long ago where we were like, oh no, you and I's coming in for HOBO Day. And so
they always seem to find a way.
We're a long ways removed from that, so I'm not too worried about that now. But it's HOBO Day. There's all sorts of distractions all week. But I think that after a game like we had against Youngstown State, where it was a bit of a scare, you had to buckle down, you had to get the win. I don't see us coming out and missing a beat. I think that we'll be focused. I think we'll. I'd love to see the run game continue to develop, and I would love. I think what I really need to see in this game is a number 2 running back step up and a number 2 wide receiver. If Ogroski's out again, I'm going to need to see a number 2 wide receiver step up. We think that's probably Goring behind Bullock. I think Bullock is clearly the number 2, and I guess I should say number 3. Because obviously Ogroski's number 1, but we've seen some issues with we've seen some flashes of potential in the receiving group, but we've also seen some issues persistent. And so we need somebody to be more consistent there. And I think a second running back, because as much of a beast Loffridge is, he's closing in on 4,000 yards in his college career. He's got some mileage on him. And if we don't have to be running him 15 to 20 times a game, I'd rather not. And so I'd really like to see another running back threat step up. And this could be the game that hopefully we can get up by 2 or 3 scores. And I'm not calling a bunch of backups in there, but I'm saying we need to get the 2s in there and, in and out and get them some experience and get somebody going.
Yeah, I think the big thing with how the Youngstown game started, all the distractions that come along with Hobo Day and Hobo Week, is just seeing the team come out locked in and ready to go from the jump and step on somebody's throat like they did with Mercyhurst. Really see him come out, look sharp, look crisp, and take care of business. I think that's the biggest thing to look for because, as much as we're talking about, you and I's offense being awful and everything, it's the Valley. You come out and just roll your helmet on the field. Now you got a whole game that you're struggling and not accomplishing what you want to accomplish and everything like that. So come out, take care of business. Don't let it be in doubt. Don't let that feeling creep over the crowd and have an angsty crowd. Let's turn it into a party right away and get after it. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, what we talked about earlier is you're getting everybody's best shot. They would love nothing more than to come into Brookings and knock off the number 2 team in the country and get some momentum going for themselves.
100%.
And, again, back to what NDSU has done over the years, they've had games like we had against Youngstown State. They come out on top, and then the next game they come out strong and they dominate again. Yep. And I fully expect that that's what we'll do. I think that we'll be focused and we'll be ready to go. And I would be really surprised if we find ourselves in a dogfight in this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything. Chad, do you want to talk about Wooden Legs?
Yeah, sure. I was trying to text Alex. Thanks.
Text him later. You're going to talk Wooden Legs now.
Oh, I was just wondering. I had a fleeting thought of where statistically Bullock versus Ogrodsky is at this point in the year, because Bullock's had some really big games, but 2 and
well, while you talk about Wooden Legs, I'll pull that up. How about that?
All right. Anyway, so Wooden Legs is my go-to place on Hobo Day to go get fan cakes early in the morning. Excellent place to get breakfast, catch the parade. You're right there downtown. And when the parts of the parade pass you that you are excited about, you can leave early and go to tailgating and join the Jackrabbit Book Club on the northeast corner of the tailgate lot. Come see me. I'll have some pudding shots. We'll have some Wooden Legs brews there for our own consumption, but you can stop down at the pub and get yourself some crowlers. They are a man can that is, man-sized, so that when you're tailgating, you can drink a beer or 2 beers. And when the cops ask you how many you had, it's 2 beers, So anyway, come on over to Wooden Legs. Come on over to Wooden Legs. They got great craft beer. They got great food. I don't know who the charity is, but all the money that is raised for the fan cakes it's a free will donation that goes to a charity. And so it's a good time. It's always great to start your Hobo Day out with a beer down at the pub.
I will.
Yes, I do have your koozie.
Having looked these up, and Mason Lemaster, the Pride, missed the Hard Hats last home game during pregame. Sorry, but also
getting
not
called
our
out
bad at the same time, because we
missed it too.
45 minutes. We weren't happy about it. But that being said, back to Chad's question about receiving production overall. The leading receiver on the Jackrabbits right now, 329 yards, an average of 11.35. yards per reception, 2 touchdowns, and a long 51 is Alex Bullock. Number 2 receiver with 312 yards, an average of 12.48 per reception, 3 touchdowns, and a long 44 is Lofton Ogroski. And number 3 is Graham Goring with 200 yards receiving, an average of 14.29 yards per reception, and a long of 52. I would say that is pretty good overall production and pretty good job of spreading the ball around. It's the damn
wide receiver 1 then, huh?
Well, and that genuinely, and I kept saying, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I think I've seen it now. Bullock and Graham Goring have completely stepped up to the plate in my book so far. Really pleasantly surprised with Alex Bullock because generally speaking, with FBS transfers down, I'm really hesitant to believe until I see it from him more so than, a JUCO or a D2 guy moving up. So I'm really, really impressed with him and really impressed with Graham Goring. He's done a great job. Yeah. Alex says you can look it up on GoJax just as easy as I can. I that's what I did, buddy. That's what I did.
He's our stats guy. I was just going to let him run with it.
Right. Hope he's doing what I do. Or Chad was doing what I do and just kind of float an idea out, float a question out there and see if anybody's willing to go answer it for me. I wonder how often is this?
That's how that works at work for you. Huh?
I was
no, I'm the only guy. I don't get to do that. That's why I take advantage of it here.
I was worried B team was missing a beat, but we finally got a Coach Stepsis stroke in here.
Oh no, there's been others. I just haven't put them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Step, as we very tactically call him.
Don't worry. There was comments about laundry and so forth.
Oh boy!
Look, man. I mean, I got a feeling they're going to pull a trick play, and if it doesn't work, the internet is going to be so full of Stepsis, what are you doing jokes that it's going to be insane.
For the record, I made one errant assumption on last week's game, Alex, so I did have to run it through you. The Podfather said that I have to run all my stat statements through you before I make them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, do we have anything else?
Do we want to talk about Valley at all?
The Valley?
Like past games.
About how it went this week for around the Valley?
We talk about that on Scared Money Don't Make Money.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Tune in Wednesday night.
We had to do that because this show was going 2.5 hours every night.
It was getting really long.
Yeah.
It allowed for the JIAI segment.
Ben brought up like, maybe we put them back together, and then we remembered after the first Scared Money went like an hour and 15 minutes, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why we did that. Okay.
Yeah. Has to be 2 separate shows, but anyway, yeah, hope to see everybody at Hobo Day.
Good point, Matt Kroll brings up. Sorry, Matthew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anarchist Story has a book signing day. Friday was Stig, his 2 years of life that he poured into that book on display about Coach Stig, building the Jackrabbit program. Tons and tons of history in there, following the program through all of Stig's career. So I know I will absolutely be getting one and diving into that because there's going to be some really cool stuff in there.
My understanding he's doing it early in the JFPA tailgate too on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounded like he's going to be there too.
And it's at Cubby's on Friday. Yes, Matthew.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Well, with that, I think that's everything. We're going to get in under the wire here under an hour. Love it.
That's
wow.
Weird.
There he is.
It's so awkward.
As Jim says, as we always say, go big, go blue,
go Jack.
Go Jack.